$1.26 million. dollars. That's what a big study says you need to retire comfortably. And it's quietly convincing millions of people, people with a normal 401k, that they'll never get there. But here's what that number doesn't tell you. It assumes you'll spend like you're still in your peak earning years forever and cover every last dollar out of your own pocket. That's just not how retirement actually works. So stick with me. I'll rebuild that number the honest way. 3 simple steps using your own figures. And by the end, you'll see the real gap between what you've already got and what you actually need. And honestly, it's a whole lot smaller than that headline wants you to believe. So where does that 1.26 million even come from? Here's the recipe. Take 80% of your peak mid-career paycheck. Stretch it across 30 years of retirement. Give no credit for spending dropping as you age, and none for Social Security. That's how you manufacture a 7-figure number. It's a worst-case guess, not a plan. Take my buddy Mike, 58, just outside Columbus, Ohio. Still drives the same Silverado he bought back in 2012. He saw that headline, did the quick math in his head, and figured he'd be working till the day he dies. That one number felt like a locked door. Okay, that's the myth. And that's how it got so big. Now let's rebuild it the honest way, one piece at a time. And the first piece? It's the one almost every scary calculator gets wrong. Quick, honest note before we start. This is an educational method, not a personalized recommendation. I don't know your situation. The whole point here is to hand you the math so you can run it on your own numbers. Step 1. Start from what you'll actually spend in retirement, not what you spend today. This is the piece the big number skips. So here's the real data, straight from the government. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks what households actually spend, broken out by age. In 2024, a household run by someone 45 to 54, peak career, kids, mortgage, the whole load, spent about $100,000 a year. Now look at households 65 and up. That same yearly spending drops to right around $61,000. That's a fall of nearly 40%. And it makes sense. No mortgage, no kids at home, no more commuting, no more setting money aside for retirement. Same person, a whole lot less going out the door. Now, here's the honest catch, and I'm not going to skip it. Spending doesn't just fall in a straight line and stay there forever. The researchers who study this call it the spending smile. It drops in your active early years, stays low through the quieter ones, and then, late in retirement, it can climb back up. For one big reason: healthcare and long-term care. So this isn't me telling you spending drops, you're safe, relax. It's telling you the honest starting point is way below your peak year paycheck, with a real bump at the end you'll want to plan for. Both of those are true at the same time. Step 2. Subtract what Social Security already covers, because you're not paying for all of that $61,000 out of your own savings. A big piece of it shows up automatically, every month. As of 2026, the average retired worker collects around $2,000 a month from Social Security. Over a full year, that's close to $24,000. Money you're not pulling out of your 401k at all. Now, one important thing, and then we move on, because we went deep on Social Security in other videos, and I don't want to repeat it here. That figure is an average. Your number depends on your own earnings history and the age you claim, so don't guess it. Go to csa.gov, log into your My Social Security account, and it'll show you your own estimated benefit. At 62 at your full retirement age, and at 70. Use your number, not the national one. Step 3. Take what's left, the spending your own savings actually have to cover, and multiply it by 25. Where does 25 come from? It's the flip side of something called the 4% rule. The idea that you can pull about 4% of your savings a year and have it hold up over a long retirement. Flip that around, and 25 is the nest egg that supports it. And this isn't French math. It's the same logic Fidelity uses behind its own well-known benchmark, saving 10 times your salary by 67. But I'm going to be straight with you because this is the caveat that matters most. 25 is a starting point, not a promise. The 4% rule assumes reasonable market returns, and it doesn't care whether a nasty crash lands the same year you retire. The order those returns show up in genuinely changes the outcome. So treat 25 as a sensible anchor to aim at, not a guarantee carved in stone. All right, let's put the 3 steps together with the national average numbers just to see the shape of it. Realistic spending. Call it around $61,000 a year. Take out the Social Security piece, roughly $24,000. That leaves about $37,000 your own savings need to cover. Multiply that by 25, and you land right around $940,000. Now hear me clearly, because this is the whole point. $940,000 is not your number. It's an example, built on national averages just to show you how the method works. Your spending is different, your Social Security is different, so your number is different. Don't walk away and write down 940. Walk away and run these 3 steps on your own figures. Because look at where the honest version landed. Well under that 1.26 million headline. And it got there from real data, not fear. When Mike actually ran this, his real spending, his own Social Security estimate off SSSA.gov, not the averages, his number didn't come out anywhere near 1.26 million either. Same guy, same truck, same worry the night before. But for the first time in a while, that locked door had a handle on it. And this is where it ties back to something. Last video, we looked at the other half of this exact equation, how much people your age have actually saved. The honest middle-of-the-pack number for someone in their late 50s or early 60s, the median 401k came in right around $107,000. That's just about where Mike sat, by the way. A little over $100,000, and dead certain it was nowhere near enough. So put the two halves side by side. What a lot of folks have is somewhere near 6 figures. What you honestly need, run the real way, is a real target. And yeah, for most people, there's still a gap between the two. I'm not going to pretend there isn't. But it's nowhere near the $1 million canyon that headline had you picturing. It's a gap you can plan for, not a locked door. So let's talk about closing that gap, because you've got more leverage here than you'd think, especially if you got a late start. The IRS raised the 401k limits for 2026. Everybody can put in a base amount each year, but once you hit 50, they let you add extra on top, an extra $8,000 a year. That's catch-up money, and it exists specifically for people who need to make up ground. And here's the part almost nobody knows about. If you're between 60 and 63, that catch-up doesn't stop there. Under the newer rules, it jumps higher still, which happens to land right on the exact age group staring hardest at this gap. So, if you're sitting at 58, like Mike, that bigger window is coming up fast. Worth knowing it's there. And look, you don't have to max any of it out. Even a slice of it, compounding over the years you've still got, moves your real number more than any scary headline ever will. So here's what I want you to walk out of here with. That $1.26 million number was never a plan. It was your most expensive years that frozen and multiplied. With the 2 best things about retirement, lower spending and Social Security, quietly left out of the math. Rebuild it honestly. Realistic spending minus Social Security times 25. And the target comes back down to earth. Not to zero. It's still a serious goal. And for most of us, there's real ground to cover. But it's your ground, and it's walkable. Just ask Mike. Same truck, same worry. a completely different plan than the one he had a week ago. If you want the calm version of this, the way to run these numbers on your own without the panic, I write it all up in the catch-up letter. Links down in the description, no charge. And if you haven't seen the one on how much people your age have actually saved, that's the other half of this same story. It's right here. I think it'll help. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.